So, my focus is on uniting parents, children, as well as the entire community in a process of learning. And I'd like to share with you my ideas around that and how my background leads up to it. So, to really understand the context, it's helpful to know where I'm coming from. I'm a citizen of Pakistan where education is critical because there's so much inequality and polarization, and a lot of my perception of how to solve the problems of education stem from my background. While being from Pakistan and spending most of my life there, I've been fortunate to have had a lot of my higher education in the United States. I've studied engineering at Stanford and education at Harvard, and that's largely shaped my views of what can be achieved globally in education. In a professional context, I have been managing a software company. I'm the chief operations officer of Tintash. We do different kinds of software, app, and game development. Because of that, developed a genuine love for problem solving, making products. I've actually worked on quite a lot of edtech products, and it really kind of guides how I feel about what are interesting things to learn and many things that can be done in education. And I've also spent significant time teaching at my local university, the Lahore University of Management Sciences in Pakistan, because of my love for teaching and interacting with students and mentoring them. I actually have a course called Innovation in Education, and several of my students there have gone on to do interesting things in education. So I went to do my master's in education at Harvard just last year, focusing on technology in education, and it's really changed the way I think about the world and I think about education. Going into the program, I thought, okay, I know a bit about how to develop software products for online learning. Let's learn more about that. But I just got so fascinated by how deep and broad the theory of education is. I learned about play-based learning, about motivation in learning, about how making things with your own hands and being able to share them with people is so central to how we learn. I was a bit shy about using my hands, and I never saw myself as an artsy and creative person. But the time I spent in the makerspace at Harvard really changed that and really made me think about, it's using your hands and making stuff and doing these hands-on activities that is so central to education. And in the center here, you can see a picture of one of my projects. We had to design an educational toy for a child. In this case, it's my own daughter who was 4 years old at the time and could vaguely tell me what she wanted. But just thinking about how to make a hands on toy that she could play with and learn with was something very special to my experience there. Um, During my time at Harvard, I also took a class at MIT about global education. On the left, you can see a photo of an MIT venture based in Ghana, where an MIT alum is teaching students there how to do hands-on activity in science based on materials in the community and problems that can be solved in the community. So just learning about that was really eye-opening for me. And on the right, you see Colombia in South America, where I actually traveled to do a project. And despite the language barrier, it was so exciting for me to guide parents and children in the community to do these hands-on activities. Over here, the child is demonstrating how to design a video game that teaches you about coffee. So it's about play-based learning, it's about solving problems in the community, it's about parents and children, and they all to come together in this very exciting mix that really inspires me. When I finally came back home to Pakistan and kind of got back into my routine and getting my kids back in school, this play-based learning suddenly became very critical to what we wanted to do. And you'll see in the photo here, my daughter is very happy, a little older now compared to the last photo. She's doing these hands-on activities, science and art activities with the Storytellers Club. And all my worlds come together here because it's actually set up by one of my own students. And my daughter is very much into these hands-on activities, and it's such an important part of our schedule. We know Saturday afternoon we have to be there doing these hands-on activities. They're fun for my daughter, they're fun for me. It's a way for us to come together. It makes us think about all these exciting things happening in the community and everything we can do. And I thought it would all go away when COVID happened, but the entrepreneur just moved everything online and it's scaled up dramatically. And it's made me think about, we've got to get all parents in the community doing these kinds of activities, because everything that we do with our children can kind of come down to such activities. To give you some more examples, on the left, that's the night sky. I recently realized that stars are not just yellow, they can be red and blue. But then that leads to questions of why we can't see the red and blue ones so easily. And it's a fun thing for me and my daughter to do art around how well can you see red and blue against a black background. And it's fun for us to do activities around How do you make a telescope and look at the stars? And it's fun for us to walk around and talk about light and the universe and why all these things happen. And similarly, on the right side, you'll see a makeshift at home bow and arrow. She wanted a bow and arrow, we put it together with materials, and it led to all these activities and discussions around how do you give energy to an arrow and the historical context of why do you need an arrow in the first place. And I realized that these activities we do together, in which we talk about what's around us and think about why these things happen, are so much more central to her education than what she does in school, even. Because this informal learning is just so important. So, my idea is we need to get more of this informal learning in front of everyone in the world. We need to have these online portals where people put up all these examples of activities that are educational that they do with their kids. We need these to be available to educators. We need a place where people can come up with new ideas and share them with other people, and just have this place where everyone is thinking about all these activities that are practical, that solve problems in their community, and are specific to the needs of their community. And I think that's really the way forward in education. And that's an idea I'd love to share with all of you and get your feedback about. Thank you.